National Association of Edo State Students and civil society organization come forward.
Thank you very much. We'd now like to invite the service chiefs to please come and greet the Oba. The chief imam and other Muslims that are here, please come and pay homage to the Oba. After that, we shall be inviting the very distinguished Queen Mother, Ojeba of Agbo, to please come and pay homage to the Oba. I'd like to invite the Queen Mother, the Ojeba of Agbo, to please pay homage to His Royal Majesty. I'd like to invite the representative to His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, to please come and pay homage. My Lord, the Chief Judge of Edo State, here very represented, to please come and pay homage. I'm sure you'll be accompanied by the former NBA President, Augustine Alegesan. Thank you very much. Whilst we are waiting for the instructions, may I invite our very dear Senior President of Nigeria, former NBA President, to please come and pay homage to his Oba. After this, the Enike from Esa Central or Edo Central and Edo North.
Oba Atokwe, before we call on the traditional rulers from Edo North and Edo Central, there is going to be a very special introduction to be made. Prince Agatise Erediawa. Now, Baba, Mamudaro Dawe Mugu. Ubinokwa, Princess Mrs. Ikoyeme Ewai. I'm you. Prince Agatise Erediawa was the one that actually represented His Royal Majesty, the Great Oba of the Great Benin Kingdom, in Scotland, Aberdeen, and in the UK, in Cambridge College University, Jesus College, Cambridge, in UK. He was the one that actually represented His Royal Majesty when they handed over the artifacts to the Omonoba through Prince Agatise Erediawa. He is the immediate junior brother of His Royal Majesty, the Great Oba of the Great Benin Kingdom. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Prince Agatise Erediawa. Standing next to the Prince is the eldest daughter of His Royal Majesty. She is Princess Mrs. Ikoyeme Amiwu Ewari. She is a petroleum lawyer and she is happily married and she has children. Oba Atokwe. Egbatu Yoba. Babonemi, hold it first. Huh? Hold it. At this point, we'd like to also call on a very special guest, a diplomat by excellence. His Excellency Ambassador Martins Uromo Hibi. Your Excellency, please proceed to greet His Royal Majesty. That is His Excellency Ambassador Martins Uromo Hibi. The MD of Seplat is ably represented here. Please come forward and greet His Royal Majesty. Immediately after that, we call on very respected traditional rulers from Edo North and Edo Central to please come forward and pay obeisance to His Royal Majesty. Oba Atokwe. Representative of MD Seplat. The representative of the Vice Chancellor, University of Benin. Is he here? Please come forward. Come and greet His Royal Majesty. She is representing the Vice Chancellor, who is unavoidably absent. She is out of the state. At this point, May I kindly call on the respected traditional rulers from Edo State, Edo North and Edo Central traditional rulers. Please come forward and greet His Royal Majesty.
I'm sure the Igbo group, if you are here, please come and pay homage to the other. During the 19th century, in 1897, the invasion of Great Benin Kingdom, about 10,000 objects were forcefully relocated and are today held in 165 museums and private collections across the world. These moved objects were and are still of great cultural and historical interest to our people. Today's landmark event is indeed a breakthrough in the desire of Nigeria and Africa to repossess African arts which were currently domiciled abroad. These works were a result of deep personal knowledge and a great sense of observation by the bronziers, reflecting the skills of Benin sculptors. Believing that what is more important now is to place more emphasis on the return of the artifacts rather than the circumstances leading to their relocation, Nigeria took possession of two of the very many artifacts on October 27 and 28, 2021 at Jesus College in England and the University of Aberdeen in Scotland. The two repossessed or repatriated Benin artifacts are the Conqueror bronze statue, the cockerel Opa, an ostentatious creature which illustrates pride and confidence, and an ancestral head, a bronze bust of an Oba, Umuilao, whose sovereignty were vested in the Benin Kingdom before 1897 invasion, which today will be returned to where they originally belong, physically handed over to our most revered monarch, Oba Ewai II, after 125 years. It is on this note that I very warmly welcome all to this red letter event. My name is Agarese Idubo. I am today working with my brother, Dr. Mike Osasuye. Two of us shall put this event in its right perspective. Whilst we are doing that, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of one of the very distinguished Nigerians who's been very wonderful, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ambassador Serafatunde Ishola. Welcome you, sir. The Director General, the National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Professor Abba Isa Tijani. We thank you very much for being here. We thank you for being here.
The ambassador is not here on his own as a guest personally, but he is here on the directive of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFRO, to personally deliver these two special artifacts to the great Oba of the Great Benin Kingdom, because originally this was the place they were taken from, and this should be the place they should be returned. That's why he is here in the company of the DG, National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Professor Abbas Tijani. Oba Atokwe.
Thank you very much. Now is the homecoming of these artifacts. You can imagine 125 years outside of home. Now you are returning home. I'm sure the artifacts are very happy to return home. And we welcome them to their natural habitat. Before we take the next item on the program, I'd like to introduce a very special Benin man, a man who we all revere very specially. I'm talking of a director of ACO Group PLC, the chairman CEO of Acklin Oil and Gas Limited, our very revered engineer, Dr. Gregory Omosigo Ero. We thank you very much for being here. Please celebrate him. Once again, we want to thank you for being part of history. It's a very special event that all of us are witnessing in our lifetime, the day that these items are being returned. Like I said, we have over 10,000 of them that were taken away. Now we are starting the process of returning them. At this point, one very important item on this program is the traditional breaking of kola nuts. I like that we pass the kola nuts to the Iyasa of Benin, as directed by His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin.
Hello.
We'd like to, in a very special way, acknowledge the presence of Honorable Osenegi Ero, former Commissioner for Arts and Culture, Edo State.
Former Commissioner Adeodo Tomogun, where's Isaiah?
It's Your Royal Majesty.
The members of ICOBA, Immaculate Conception College Old Boys Association, they are well represented here. ICOBA members, please, briefly.
is thank you very much, Aikoba. With the kind permission of His Royal Majesty, may I invite Chief Owen Suyi, the Dosoma SAN, to come and welcome all of us on behalf of His Royal Majesty, the Oba Suyi of Benin.
It should be noted that Chief Oba Suyi of Benin actually accompanied Prince Eratise Irediawa to UK and Scotland, where these artifacts were retrieved. Oba Atokwe.
Your Royal Majesty, Oba Ewai II, Ogidigan, Oba of Benin, sitting on the throne of your fathers, one of the oldest thrones in the world. Your Excellency, Ambassador Sarafa Yusuf, Ambassador Sarafa Ishola, my apologies, the Nigerian High Commission to Great Britain, Professor Tijani, Director General of the National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Princes and Princesses of Benin, the ESL of Benin, Chiefs of Benin, distinguished guests, well-wishers, and friends of Benin. This is a very, very brief welcome. We thank you for coming to come and witness a historical event, one that is as groundbreaking as it's significant for Benin. It is the return of two rare artifacts that outside people, not knowing what they are, describe as art. But two of our objects that underline our spirituality, that were looted from here in 1897. Today, through the blessings of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Nigeria to Great Britain, has graciously brought these items back home to His Majesty the Oba of Benin. It is an emotional moment for the whole Benin. It is a moment that tells us that no matter how long the night is, the day will break. The dawn of the return of our artifacts that are scattered all over the world, whose provenance goes to 1897, is just breaking. Your Majesty, in your time, you will receive all of them. So, we thank you for being part of history, by coming here to witness this great event. All those of you who have traveled to come here, we welcome you. Your coming shall be attended by blessings. Benin spirituality will bless you. My apologies, I've just been told that the governor is represented here. I greet the governor and his representatives. So, we welcome you
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, we welcome you, the Director General, Professor Tijani, and all here present, and we pray that the blessings that come with this event will also go to you. Oba Atokwe.
Thank you very much. Please, let's celebrate our very dear Senior Leader of Nigeria. Thank you very much for this wonderful and very inspiring speech. We'd like to invite the Director General of the National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Professor Abba Issa Tijani, to please come and make his remarks. Oba Atokwe.
Thank you very much. Your Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, Your Excellency, Ambassador Tunji Shola, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, who is here carrying out the directive of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. All protocols duly and respectfully observed. For me, this is a great historic moment in the history of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, that our efforts since the taking away of these great artifacts of Benin Kingdom in 1897, the Commission has been making efforts to see that these artifacts are returned. And since then, we have been encountering all sorts of excuses and blockages. However, for me, it's a great moment that I'm being part of history. But during my time as the Director General of the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, these artifacts are not only promised to be returned, but physically being returned, started coming to their rightful place. I have, in many occasions, that I interact with those that are hanging on to our artifacts, bring to their notice, to their attention, to their knowledge, that these artifacts are not art for art's sake. They are living arts. They are artifacts of the Benin people that have places in their culture. They are not produced for the sake of aesthetics. They are not produced for the sake of value for money, but they are part of their culture, part of their history, and part of their daily life. you can imagine that part of your history, part of your culture is taken away from you. And that creates a vacuum. And that is why His Royal Majesty, today, having physically seen these two artifacts return, he was taken really highly emotional and feeling that history has started to take its proper shape during his time. And we want to be part of this history. We want to seem to be doing the right thing so that all artifacts of Benin Kingdom and all other artifacts, of course, taken away from Nigeria, are returned to their rightful place. And we are going day by night to those places, engage with them, and get our artifacts back. I have already scheduled to travel to Europe again by the end of next month, so that I will negotiate again with some of these museums and institutions that are holding Benin artifacts with a view that they should return back to Nigeria, and I'm sure the Benin Kingdom, the Yoruba, will be able to see these artifacts return. For this short note, I want to ask the Benin people, I want to request His Royal Majesty for prayers, because our sisters are doing wonderfully well, that these artifacts, their prayers are being accepted, and that these artifacts have started coming. And I don't seem to have any magical powers to say that I made this possible. It's the prayers of the people of Benin. And I believe that this will continue, and all the artifacts that are away in different museums across the country will come back to Benin, so that the Benin people will associate with their artifacts, with their history and ancestral belongings. Other people from outside the world and other parts of the country will be able to come and see and understand part of history, part of their culture, so that the researchers can write properly and situate the history of these artifacts in their rightful place by asking the right people. I thank you very much, and I thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador Shola, for taking this seriously, and for all the protocols that you have gone through in getting the permit. And now today, those that have been saying that these artifacts are not really going to come back, they now have history now to witness what has happened today. And I believe that they will now have the confidence and pray together with the Benin people to get our artifacts back again. I thank you very much.
Professor Abba Isa Tijani, thank you very much. When he came to Benin City with the hospitality he received from His Royal Majesty, he has started feeling at home. I'm talking about the Ambassador Sarafa Tunde Ishola. It is now my singular honor to invite him to address us. Ambassador Sarafa Tunde Ishola. I beg your pardon. He is Tunji Ishola Sarafa, the ambassador. Thank you very much.
Oba Atope, Your Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin Kingdom, the ERC, and the chiefs here, permit me to pay my respect to the princes and the princesses here present, the people of Benin Kingdom, all the chiefs here present, the gentlemen of the press who have been struggling since morning to cover this ceremony. Also pay my respect to you all. Today, history is being made in many ramifications. These artifacts were taken away here in 1897 in the same Benin Kingdom. With the permission of Oba of Benin Kingdom, I'm not aware how many of us were in this world as at that time. Perhaps we may have one or two people who are still present in this world here, but to the best of my knowledge, none of us was here then. And to now be gathered, be in a position to right the wrongs of the past, it's really making history. Not many people have the opportunity of history broken and being retrieved the way we are having it today. So we are all making history. And we should thank God for that opportunity. I must say that I'm here just for one assignment, as directed by Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The assignment is very simple: to directly bring these objects to Oba of Benin Kingdom. That is the presidential directive. Your Majesty, at the people of Benin Kingdom, you will recall that in December, when I came here to transfer these artifacts to Benin Kingdom legally, I did promise that not too long we'll bring the objects. And like you know, this is a talk and do government. We promise we are going to bring these artifacts, and these artifacts are here. I must say that the significance of these artifacts being here stems from the fact that British law actually require an export license to take any artifacts that are spent over 50 years in United Kingdom. So when the University of Cambridge, Jesus College, and the University of Aberdeen handed these artifacts to the federal government of Nigeria, that was the first stage of the process. The second stage of the process is to apply to the export license unit of Great Britain for export licenses for this object. May I take this opportunity to thank the British government for granting us these export licenses at no cost to Nigeria. This gesture has established a basis for the return of these artifacts seamlessly. I must also seize this opportunity to thank the people of Great Britain for preserving these artifacts to still be in the same form that they were taken in 1897. Not only that, value has been added to these artifacts. I'm not aware of the value of the artifacts when they are taken away, but as at today, the cockerel is valued at £2 million in Great Britain and is brought back. Oba's head is also valued and insured for £500,000 sterling and is also brought back. And you will still see many of them come back. And that's going to be a great treasure of Benin Kingdom, of Edo State, and of Nigeria. I will not make much speech because the federal government will make a policy statement on this matter in not too long of a future. I just want to thank the delegation of the Oba that came to the United Kingdom on October 27, 2021 and October 28 for the way they conducted themselves in receiving these objects from the institutions that donated the objects to us at no cost. I also seize this opportunity to thank Jesus College, Cambridge University, for taking the initiative, which is widely acclaimed by all lovers of Nigeria all over the world. I also take this opportunity to thank the University of Aberdeen for putting up a ceremony to return this artifact. And also handed over to the Oba of Benin today is the history of the artifacts. Who bought it at what point in time before its return to its original place of history. So, once again, Your Royal Majesty, I thank God that it's during your reign that we are witnessing this history. It could only have happened through the grace of God and with a good heart that you have also approached this project. And I join the people of Edo, and particularly the people of Benin Kingdom, to join hands with His Royal Majesty in the preservation of these artifacts so that they remain the same way they have been for 125 years as preserved by those countries and as we are going to preserve it. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, God bless Edo State, and God bless Benin Kingdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you very specially. The artifacts have left Great Britain to Great Benin. Today we are celebrating history, and those of us who are privileged to be here tonight will agree that it's one event of a lifetime. But once again, I want to thank all those who made this event possible, for which we are here gathered. We are getting to the 0 hour, the time to now very formally receive these very highly prized artifacts. This is the 0 hour, the time when they will make the presentation to our very respected Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin. And I dare say to all of us, over 10,000 pieces were taken away 125 years ago. And now that we're in the process of repatriating them, I'm very sure with these two coming here, the other ones will follow. In the 165 museums across the world and in various other locations, I'm sure they'll get this signal and start to understand that the process of repatriation has started. And with all that it takes, His Royal Majesty has assured all of us that his best will be good enough to bring all of these things back to Nigeria and to Benin City, where they will be finally domiciled, because this is their original home. They will be coming home. I'm sure the other ones are warming up now to come back home. And very shortly, they will start the process of coming back home. These two that have come back home,
Ọba ẹwà èdògè ni o. Òbí kẹ̀nẹ̀kẹ̀nẹ̀ máa dẹ̀yọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ adébúmọ̀dì ànáwẹ̀. Túra tọ́ gbèjì. Ọba àtọ́pẹ́ iṣẹ́.
Ọba àtọ́pẹ́ iṣẹ́. Ọba àtọ́pẹ́
èmi kan yàwé ọba wa. Túra tọ́ gbèjì. Kẹ̀nẹ̀kẹ̀nẹ̀ máa dẹ̀yọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ adébúmọ̀dì ànáwẹ̀. Túra tọ́ gbèjì.